and Sarah Rose has finally returned. She is here. So, have you heard about what's going on in Penn Station right now?
No, what's going on in Penn Station?
Apparently, for some reason, they upped the ante in the subways and in Penn Station about with a lot of police officers for whatever reason. And out of nowhere, everybody in New York City is taking offense to it. And no, we don't need this. And down with police cruelty. And earlier today, or no, it was last night actually. Like late last night, they all freaking bombarded freaking Penn Station and they're marching and they're all picketing and this and that. Like, it was crazy. Like, I couldn't understand. Like, okay, wait, hold on a second. They're putting more police officers on the subways and in the city. Like, I don't know because I don't live out there, but to me, it just sounds ridiculous. They have a right to protest, but personally, there are idiots out there. Okay, there's one idiot in a mask in particular, and I'm going to call him an idiot because he's an idiot. He's wearing a mask, and he posts to social media, "Hey everybody, come up to Penn Station and just destroy everything. We're doing that right now. Don't pay, jump turnstiles, do this, do that." And he's wearing a mask because he thinks he's undercover. The only problem is, he's posting to social media. You really think the detectives and the FBI and the police aren't going to finger point him? And I guarantee you he did it from his freaking phone too. His contracted new iPhone 3000.
That's pretty stupid, actually.
Is
it the guy with the hoodie?
He had some type of mask or something on, and I saw a few seconds of it. I was like, this guy's a freaking moron. First of all, you're wearing the mask, but yet you're gonna post it to your social media. How much of a moron can you be? Like, nobody knows who you are.
Oh, that's pretty dumb.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you have a right to protest, you have a right to march, you have a right to scream and shout as loud as you want to. Even in freaking Penn Station, in my opinion. Just don't be an idiot and start jacking it up for everybody else. You realize how many people have to go to work? How many people have sick relatives right now in the city?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Picture you on your way to the city and you had to take the subway there, or you had to take freaking Long Island Railroad to Penn Station. And guess what? Your ass is getting out in Queens because you got to find another way there. Because a bunch of morons want to freaking jack up Penn Station.
Yeah, it's just...
It's like, come on, man. Like, I personally think there's better ways around it to begin with.
I don't know.
They have a right to march and protest, but the moment, like, they're graffitiing all over the place, police, KKK, and this and that. There's been several people arrested over it already. I think once you start, just like down south a few years ago, when people were protesting and marching, good for you. You're standing up for what you believe in, honestly. No hate against that. You're standing up for what you believe in. Good for you. But then you have these idiots who are freaking burning their town down because they're tired of their town being burnt down. Does that make any sense?
No, that does not make any sense whatsoever.
You seen these idiots a few years ago? There were people that were actually doing what they were supposed to do and doing what's right, marching and protesting and standing up for what they believe in. And then there were morons that were robbing and looting their local freaking grocery stores and their local radio stores, which a lot of them were freaking privately owned and locally owned. You're tired of your community getting tore down, but yet you tore down your community in the process. It makes no sense to me.
People make no sense to me either. I mean, it surprises me how people just like to, do this and do that. Hey, look, I'm gonna destroy this for the attention.
Yeah, and then record it.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's for attention.
I
think it's horrible. I think you're an idiot, honestly, if you honestly believe that you're just gonna start burning stores and start looting your local this or that on the strength that you can because you're standing up for what you believe in because you're tired of your community getting tore down and taken advantage of. You're the idiot that's tearing it down and taking advantage of it. Like everybody else that you're standing against. Does that make any sense?
No, that does not. Not whatsoever.
You know what's funny? You ever seen the What was it? I think it was in the city somewhere. When a bunch of people were protesting, and there was
Oh.
this guy in the mask, and his mom came up and slapped the shit out of him. So what the fuck's wrong with you? Get your ass on him.
Oh shit.
I think that's what a lot of people need. When you start burning your shit down and destroying your own town, I think a lot of you need your mom and your grandmother to come up there
Yeah,
and
slap.
the shit out you.
Yep.
In front of everybody, tell you to take your ass on home. The hell's wrong with you?
Oh boy. Like I said multiple times, it's all for attention.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna keep saying that because that's what everybody wants to do is, oh, woo's me, I want the attention, all attention on me. You know?
You're absolutely right about that. That is definitely when you start destroying shit, graffitiing shit, that's definitely for attention, because if you had half the brain in your head, you'd realize that you're standing up for something that you're doing yourself 10 seconds after you're standing up for it.
Yeah, it's...
But here's the jacked up part about it is, there is a lot of corruption in the southern freaking New York State, like the New York City area, Nassau County, Suffolk County. Like, okay, Jake's 58 right here in Suffolk County, right?
Yeah.
Did you hear about the a year or two ago when freaking...
Oh, the guy went in there in the room and he had guns. There was that one time this guy had guns in the room.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, something about, I don't know the whole story, but this guy had guns. And
I know there was the story I'm talking about is when the New York City police officer, right? His wife or fiance or something like that actually worked at the bar, and she was calling him whenever she was seeing people getting rich. Yeah, I won this much money and I won that much money. And they were literally, she was calling her husband, who was the New York City police officer, and he was coming to Jake's 58 and sticking people up. And then finally the freaking detectives and the feds and shit actually caught him in the process of sticking somebody up.
oh,
in the middle of the parking lot.
I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, dead ass. New York City cop. And then you have this other New York City cop that just happened the other day. What is 8-year-old autistic son? You heard about that one, right?
No.
You didn't hear about that?
No.
Him and his wife are in jail right now. It just happened, I think, out east somewhere, or wherever it was. Right up the road, actually. Not up the road, but... okay. So, apparently, he has an 8-year-old autistic son.
Okay.
Another autistic child. He was abusing him to the point where the mother left and right was actually complaining to CPS and police and this and that. Nothing was ever done about it. They had a nanny, apparently, that was doing the same thing. The nanny, I think, was like let go or fired or whatever the case is. Nothing was ever done about it. The 8-year-old autistic boy actually died. This is about a week or so ago. Parents, New York City freaking police department, the father, he called the police and said that the boy fell in the driveway.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, here's the thing though. You can make up any story you want and the police can corroborate with it, but the medical examiner, that goes right to freaking, he's going to tell you exactly what happened, no matter what the detectives want to tell you. He's going to tell you exactly what happened. The boy died on the way to he was already pronounced dead. I think either at the scene or on the way to the hospital, whatever the case is. The father put both of the boys in the garage, unheated and everything. Left them in the garage overnight, and the 8-year-old boy froze to death.
Holy crap. I didn't even hear that.
Yep, it was about a week or so ago.
Oh
It was
my
just
god.
Out east.
Wow.
The medical examiner said that the boy actually suffered, I believe it was from hypothermia pretty much.
Oh, well, yeah, if he's outside.
When the boy got to the hospital, see, you can't fool the medical examiner. You're not going to lie to the hospital. Doesn't matter if you're the police or not. When he got to the hospital, his body temperature, 98.6 degrees is your body temperature. Anything that drops a few degrees below that is automatically hypothermia. The boy's body temperature was 75 degrees when he got to the
Holy.
So the father was arrested and the stepmother was arrested, both of them for murder.
That's
Now everybody's speaking up, not only against the father, but everybody's speaking up and saying, wait, hold on a second. The mother saying she freaking reported him how many times? The nanny saying she spoke up about this. Why wasn't anything done about this? What happened with the Suffolk County Police Department? Why were they not freaking doing anything? Or the DA or the Sheriff's Office or anything? CPS for that.
seemed like they want to procrastinate on that. They didn't really want to do anything.
Well, here's where it gets sick and disgusting. The Suffolk County Police Department, unfortunately, has a history, a long history that dates back to the freaking 1970s, probably even past that, of just freaking corruption beyond corruption beyond corruption. All right. Keith Bush, have you heard of him?
Okay, yes.
All right, you know who he is? He just got released from jail after doing 30
Yes.
years. All right, check this out. In the 1970s, he was arrested for killing a 14-year-old. Did 31 years, and after 31 years, he finally got out because forensic evidence proved that it wasn't him to begin with. Here's the messed up part. This is current events, right?
Yep.
1987, it was in the newspaper, and it was exposed that, quite frankly, it's pretty much not him, and that he was set up. It was exposed in 1987, and nothing was done about it. Can you imagine sitting in freaking prison and seeing your name in the newspaper, and the newspaper's even coming out and saying, hey, you know, there's a screw up. I don't think it was this guy.
That's torture.
Yeah, it's horrible.
That's sick. That's fucking torture.
And you waited that long to get this guy out of jail? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's so horrible. Now, Dennis Rafferty was the arresting officer. Dennis Rafferty in the 1980s, he actually freaking made an arrest. He was the the lead detective. And I believe it was called Hamilton versus Miller. That was the name of the case in the 1980s. It was a botched card game gone wrong. Pretty much they knew about the card game, and these four guys were going to run in, and in the process, somebody ended up getting shot. Right? So the guy that ran, the fourth person, he actually ran and told on the freaking handed the other three in. Here's where it gets messed up. He had nothing to do with it. He just knew about it, and he ran away at the last moment. So accessory, yeah, you could probably be accessory to a botched robbery. Now, freaking Dennis Rafferty, he was also the lead detective for that case. They just investigated him a while ago because according to freaking forensic evidence, which you can't fool forensic, it just keeps getting better and better. You know what I'm saying? They want to know, okay, the guy you arrested, the one who told on these three, allegedly you found a bullet in his pocket. Yeah, right in his coat pocket. Well, there's the problem. That bullet never came. It came out of a gun, but it never left the barrel.
Right.
It was never shot out of a gun. It was actually taken out of the gun by hand. You're saying it actually freaking fell out of the gun through the barrel, or it was dislodged somehow. So he was under investigation for that. And this is the same person that freaking with Keith Bush, the arresting detective. Check this out. Remember Martin Tancliffe?
Yes.
The guy who allegedly killed his mother and his father in the
Yes.
1980s, right? 1988. Check this out. The arresting detective his name was James McCready, right? So, James McCready had Martin Tancliffe when he realized that his parents had died in the freaking in the precinct, right? Somehow he convinced Martin Tancliffe, I swear to God, this is all on record, somehow he convinced Martin Tancliffe that his father woke up out of his coma and pinpointed Martin Tancliffe, his very own son, as the person who did all this to them. And when Martin Tancliffe was like, no, I'm telling you, it wasn't me. Somehow he was able to convince Martin Tancliffe that he had some type of psychotic episode or blackout, and it was him, and his father's out of the coma, so he better start telling us the truth and writing these statements now, because he's in a lot of shit. Martin Tancliffe got convicted of murdering his parents because of that.
Shit's sick.
That's disgusting. He was interrogated for over 5.5 hours.
That is sick.
In an interrogation for 5.5 hours. And now under investigation is James McCready, who died in freaking 2006. Personally, I wish he would have been in good health so he could freaking stand trial and be thrown in jail for the rest of his freaking life. Norman Reen, Charles something, it's like Polish or so. Sergeant Robert Doyle, and 10 other freaking members of the police department. 10 other members of the... All of them are under investigation for this right now. Check this out. James McCready, and hold on, I have it right here. 1991, James McCready got arrested, right, for violent assault at a bar. The same James McCready, the detective that set up Martin Tancliffe in 1991, he got arrested for violent assault at a bar, right? He got acquitted, but not by a jury. It was a non-jury, which means he got acquitted by a judge, which is messed up because here's where it gets sick and twisted. His lawyer at the time was Spota. Okay, Thomas Spota just got indicted December of 2019. Why? For corruption, because he was the head of the DA. You know who else he got indicted with?
Who?
McPatland was his last name. Now, McPatland was the ex-chief of the DA of the corruption unit. Both of them got indicted and charged December 2019 for corruption.
Jeez.
This is the head of the DA, the district attorney right now in Suffolk County. And this is the ex-chief because once they found out, they got rid of him. They're like, oh no, yeah, we don't know you anymore. That's, what gang members do, I guess.
Well, yeah, they try to cover themselves.
Exactly. And McPatland, which makes it even more disgusting, was head of the freaking DA's anti-corruption unit. And both of them got caught with corruption. And now check this out. Thomas Spota, how did he get caught with corruption? This goes to police chief James Burke. He's not a police chief anymore. Because there was a duffel bag. Okay, first I want to go back to the 1990s, right? In the 1990s, James Burke was actually investigated by, I have his name actually written down, I don't want to mistake him. Pat Cuff, he was a police officer, or a detective at the time, whatever the case. He investigated James Burke. Do you know why in the 1990s? Because James Burke was having sex with a prostitute inside of his police car while he was in uniform.
Oh,
Keep that in
God.
mind, prostitute. You'll understand where I'm getting at in a few seconds. Now in 2012, Pat Cuff, he was demoted 4 ranks. That means he was put down 4 ranks and sent to some warehouse for no reason at all in 2012. Do you know why? Because that's in 2012 is when James Burke himself actually became police chief of Suffolk County. Then took freaking Pat Cuff, who was investigating him in the 90s for having sex with prostitutes in his car while in uniform, and demoted him 4 ranks. How do you demote somebody 4 ranks out of nowhere and send them off to some warehouse somewhere?
Hey, you just don't.
Yeah, that's
You just...
actually on record. So, this is what happens with James Burke in current events. Oh, that was my lighter. There's a guy, right? His name is Chris Loeb. He ends up stealing a duffel bag out of his James Burke's actual police car. His actual police car. You know what he finds in it? Pornography, sex toys, the whole 9. Here's the catch. For some reason, this happened to James Burke. Why is James Burke the arresting officer?
Exactly. He's covering himself.
You know what I'm saying? For some reason, James Burke was the arresting officer in this case, which I don't understand because isn't that a huge conflict of interest? You can't even get away with that when you're watching CSI. You can't even get away with that.
No, you
You
can't.
know what I'm saying? Somehow he was the one who investigated the whole thing, freaking arrested, or he let his buddy arrest him, but regardless, he investigated the whole shit. Like, that's on freaking record. Then when Chris Loeb was in the precinct, beat the piss out of Chris Loeb, the one who stole the duffel bag, and in front of pretty much quite a few different detectives and police officers, and Chris Loeb was the one who actually reported him and tried to fight about it, and the DA, Thomas Spota, was the one who covered up for it and tried to defend James Burke about it. Finally, I don't know how far it got, but finally there was a huge investigation about it, and then it got back. I don't know who investigated it, but one of the officers that were there, because I believe he was under oath or whatever the case is, he felt under pressure, he finally like choked up and said the truth. He was like, no, I was there, yeah, you know, he was choking him, he was punching him, slapping him, this and that. Oh, really? It's funny. Which I find funny, because why is he even there?
Right.
You shouldn't be there to begin with.
No.
You're the victim. You shouldn't even be near the suspect, regardless if you're a detective or not. Excuse me, police chief. Out of all people, you just happen to be in the same precinct this guy gets arrested for? Bullshit.
That's fucking insane.
So, James Burke comes under investigation. Not only does James Burke come under investigation, but he's also indicted on corruption charges. Check this out. He got sent to prison. He got sent to prison in Pennsylvania. While he was in his prison cell, he gets caught with oxycodone. In his prison cell.
Oh, God.
Check this out. While he gets caught with oxycodone and that whole mess is going on, there's a female that comes forward. She's a prostitute. Another prostitute. She alleges that James Burke, she actually met up with James Burke, and he was getting like very physical and very rowdy with her and shit like that. So she managed to escape from him and run to like the local precinct. I personally heard that it happened down in Florida, even though other sources are saying it happened elsewhere. Wherever it happened, she ended up reporting him. They reported it back to Suffolk County and everything like that. Nothing ever happened.
Well, they should have taken action on that.
Now check this out. The Gilgo Beach murders, right?
Yeah.
Do you know the FBI was supposed to investigate the Gilgo Beach murders?
Let me guess, they didn't?
No. Do you know why?
Why?
Do you know who put a stop to that?
No, who did?
Police Chief James Burke put a stop
Oh,
to that. And
once again.
Guess who the FBI just happens to be investigating as one of their suspects? Police Chief James Burke. Do you believe that?
Oh, it just keeps going right back to him.
Yeah. Unbelievable, right? Let me take a leak because it gets so much better. There was actually